Hi guys, it's Nancy and I'm back and I have another new release, part of the Catherine Pooler Designs release for February 2022. And this is Natural Flourishes. So Natural Flourishes stamp set come with these 3 foliage leaves here, and then you have some cute sentiments. Thank you, congrats, get well, sending love, happy birthday. And you have the matching dies to cut out those leaves. And this is the card I'm going to show you how to make today. I know it looks like there's a lot going on, but it's actually pretty easy. So the first thing we're going to start is some ink blending. So you're just going to grab a piece of cardstock, and I have a mini Catherine Pooler blending brush here, and I'm going to use the colors Martini, Eucalyptus, and a little bit of Deck the Halls. And you're going to go in. I like to start lightest and then add my darker colors, and I'm just going to just very heavily saturate this paper with color. Random, doesn't matter where. And as this dries, the colors will dry back a little bit as well. And it does not need to be an absolute smooth blend. We just want to mix these 3 colors of green together. And then we're going to set that aside. We kind of want to let that dry a moment. So we're going to set that aside, and I'm going to clean our stamping mat here. This is the mini Wallflower blending mat, by the way. I love it for blending, but also I enjoy stamping on it because it holds my paper still. And because it's a rubber mat, there's a little bit of give underneath for the stamps. Okay. Now I'm going to grab a piece of paper that I've cut down to a little smaller than 5 by 3 3/4. So I think it is 3.5 by 4 3/4. And this is going to be a top folding card. And I'm just going to take that leaf stamp, and I'm just going to randomly stamp it along the border, along the sides of this card. Primarily in Eucalyptus and Martini. I don't think I do this in Deck the Halls. And it's okay if they overlap a little. And it's okay to do double stamping, which means you stamp one time for a darker color and then stamp again, and you get a little bit of a lighter impression. See, it sticks to my mat so much I can't move it. Okay, that's my background. That's it, you guys. So easy. Okay, now while we're still waiting for that first ink blended background to dry, we can start to assemble our card. And what I wanted to show you is I have my top folding card. And to that, I want to glue a piece of gold cardstock. Before I glue my gold cardstock down, though, I wanted to cut out this gold die cut of the leaf first. So I'm going to cut that out of the center. Now, because this is a piece of foiled card, I don't want it to get all bent up. So I'm using a piece of scrap paper, and I'm going to put that over my gold cardstock just to protect it a little bit before I run this through my die cutting machine. So now, not only has my gold card been kind of protected from any scratches or ridges, but I've also used the center of that to get a die cut piece that I can now use in my card. So we're not wasting any of that cardstock. So now as I layer this, I have the gold, the black, and my stamped background panel. My gold needs to be trimmed on the edge here. Okay. So now we're going to use glue and glue all of this down. Don't do that. Okay, here we go. So we're going to start with this gold layer. And the card itself, the card front is an A2 size card, so it's 5.5 by 4 1/4. So this gold piece is 5 1/4 by 4. Then we have this black matte piece, which is this one is 5 by 3 3/4. And then the stamp panel we did is 4 3/4 by 3.5. So you can see they're 1/4 of an inch smaller in size. Okay, so now we can set this off to dry. And what we want to do is we want to make 2 leaves. We're going to heat emboss both of these. The heat embossing powder that I'm going to use is from Wow, and it is called Emerald. Hold on. This is called Royal Emerald. Okay, you can pick all of this stuff up at Catherine Puller's shop. And the first thing I need to do is test my background to make sure that it is dry enough to heat emboss on. I found that because these inks are so juicy, sometimes the embossing powder just wants to stick too much. So we might want to preheat that before we actually do our heat embossing. And we're going to actually heat emboss in 2 places. So we're going to heat emboss on this gold leaf. So we're going to use the Wow embossing powder. Use our Rabbit Hole Designs anti-static tool on there. You want to be careful because this is a slick surface. You just kind of want to stamp down and come back up. You really don't want to move this because it will smear the ink if you move it. Okay, now I can see the center there didn't get completely covered, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that. And then, and this is a clear sticky watermark embossing ink. I'm going to heat this panel up just to make sure our ink is completely dry. Okay, hopefully we are dry now. I'm going to stamp this down. I forgot to use my anti-static tool. Oh, and I spilled the embossing powder. Well, this is what happens with real crafters, right? No editing magic here, you guys. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to clean this up. And this embossing powder is really cool because it has chunky gold flecks in it, and then it has this dark green. And I'm just going to scoop this powder back in here with a brush. All right, so we have both of those covered in embossing powder, and now we're going to heat them up. Okay. And then the next step is to die cut that out, which I already have one done to save us some time. And the last thing I want to do is just stamp a sentiment. And I think I'll do a simple happy birthday with this one. All right, and I'm going to stamp that out in Eucalyptus. Now, I haven't used this one yet, so I'm going to stamp it off a few times just to make sure the ink adheres. Okay, and now it's just a matter of assembling. And because my gold leaf didn't come out exactly great because the middle is not heat embossed, I'm going to put it in the background and then put my green leaf on top of that. So we're gonna camouflage that a little bit. See, and now they'll never know. Okay, I'm going to get those to dry. Then we're going to take our trimmer and cut this guy down. And I think I'll fishtail this one. I'm going to give that a little bit of a background. I'm going to glue it to this edge of the green cardstock and border that a little bit. To do my fishtail. Scissors! 18 pairs of scissors. Can't find the ones I want. Alright. So I'm going to cut up the center. And then from the corner to the top there. And from the corner to the top again. That'll pop out. We have our fishtail banner. And I'm going to cut this a little bit larger than that. Whoopsie. Okay, so that's glued in there. Okay, now we have a little bit of color behind that. And the same thing. Cut up the center. There we go. And we have our happy birthday. All right, so hopefully this will inspire you to try this design out. Some very easy techniques there, and just kind of layering everything together gives you an elegant kind of card. Again, the stamps and dies that I used are part of the brand new Catherine Pooler release for February 2020, and these are called Natural Flourishes Stamps and Dies. And the stamps, you get all of these stamps and the wonderful sentiments, and you get the 3 leaf dies for the dies. And I think that came out great. And again, the 3 greens that I used were Deck the Halls, Martini, and Eucalyptus. And don't forget, for the heat embossing, you'll want to check out the Wow Royal Emerald Embossing Powder. It's really, really elegant. But I will link everything that I use down below in the comments for you guys. If you have any questions, post them down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. We need to add some sequins. We can't go yet. We need sequins. What do we have for sequins? We need some gold in here. Oh, I think I used this, Seattle. Oh yes, Seattle has some of those golden chocolatey coffee colors, plus some little bit of gold in there. My little jewel picker. It's like everything I need today has grown legs and walked off to a different part of the room. Okay, guess we'll be just using tweezers. Ooh, that's pretty. A little bit of iridescence in there. All right, there we go. Now we're done. And I will put the links down below for you to the Catherine Pooler Designs store. It is an affiliate link, which means when you click that link, I do get a small commission. It does not cost you anything extra. I do appreciate you guys supporting my channel and the work that I do. If you have any questions, again, post them down below. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you get notifications when I post new videos. Thanks for watching and keep on stamping. Bye, guys.